Hi everyone, I'm Shawver Adams, Head of Tax Knowledge here at TaxGPT, and today we're going to talk about the C.I.T.E Framework. In our previous training course video on basic prompting, we talked about how context is key. The more details you provide, the better. But that raises the question, which details should you provide? This is exactly why we created the C.I.T.E method. It's your systematic checklist to help you unlock the full potential of TaxGPT. C.I.T.E stands for context, issue, target, and expected outcome. Think of C.I.T.E as your pre-flight checklist to help you make sure that you haven't missed anything before you hit send on a tax question. Now I'm going to break down each element for you. For context, set the complete scene. Provide all the details that you think would be necessary for a junior associate to answer your tax question. Here are some examples of helpful details to include. Things like entity structure, industry and activities, geographic location, transaction details such as specific amounts, parties involved, timing, and contractual details. For the issue, you want to define your precise question. Make sure you're detailing the exact question. Instead of saying, "What's the tax treatment of something?" you could say, "Are my crypto staking rewards taxable at receipt or only upon sale?" Also make sure to include your purpose within your question. Are you doing compliance work, tax planning, responding to an audit or IRS notice? Additionally, including sub-issues or related questions helps steer the model to give you the most useful outcome possible. Lastly, are there any known ambiguities with the question you're asking? Have there been conflicting guidance pieces, or are there uncertain facts? Next is target. Here you want to specify the exact scope of your research if known. Target defines the precise boundaries and parameters of your research. It tells TaxGPT exactly where you want to go. Helpful details here include tax year, jurisdiction, whether that's federal, state, or international, relevant code sections, or specific guidance items such as court cases or IRS subregulatory guidance. Last but not least is the expected output. Don't forget to tell TaxGPT the exact type of output you want, whether that's a quick research summary, a memo, or even a client email. Make sure to provide your formatting preferences, the level of authority and support that you need for this work product, as well as the intended use. TaxGPT can tailor these outputs in any way that you need. Let's take a look at the C.I.T.E framework in action. As you can see here, I've asked a very generic question about green energy credits. And while TaxGPT has provided me a wealth of information on credits created under the Inflation Reduction Act, this is not tailored advice. Now contrast this with a prompt that has used the C.I.T.E framework. As you can see here, I've included the name of my client, Jane Smith, and I've included details that she's a single filer for 2024 and has recently installed solar energy systems in her residence. This would be the C piece of the prompt, context. So as you can see here, this is what I've done in my second sentence. The issue is that I need to know whether my client can claim a certain credit on her Form 1040. Next, I've asked TaxGPT what are the requirements for her to claim clean energy credits under the Internal Revenue Code. This is my target. Next is the expected outcome. So I've asked for a very concise summary so that I know the high-level details on this issue, and I've asked TaxGPT to support its response with the relevant Internal Revenue Code provisions, as well as any applicable IRS FAQs. As we get into the meat of this answer, you can see that TaxGPT immediately cites to IRC Section 25 Cap D, as well as frequently asked questions on the IRS website, which I asked it to do. The research agent then goes into providing me the requirements to claim this credit, as well as the limitations for claiming this on a certain return for a certain year. At the very end, TaxGPT rounds out its answer by giving me a practical summary as it applies to my client so that I can give the most tailored advice possible. That's the C.I.T.E framework in a nutshell. Hopefully this has been helpful in showing you how to get the most out of TaxGPT so that you can better serve your clients. Be on the lookout for future videos on workflow guides and prompting frameworks. Thanks for watching.